Good morning from Angra do Heroismo on the island of Terceira. This is the fort of San Sebastian right in front of me, an old Portuguese fort. Really beautiful history here. And then the beautiful marina below. And I believe that's the ferry terminal where you can catch a ferry to other islands, I believe. Don't quote me on that. In the distance here, you can see Monte Brazil, or Brazil Mountain, which is kind of an islet that juts into the ocean. And from the top, you can have sweeping views across the Atlantic and of the town itself. And hiding behind this palm is my hotel, the Angra Marina Hotel, where I stayed in quarantine for the past 2 nights. It's quite a laid-back, peaceful town. There's not that many people out and about, even at 9:25 in the morning or so. I had a really good time staying at the Angra Marina Hotel. Good staff for the most part. There's one surly employee, but I think you'll find that anywhere you go. Good views of the Fort of San Sebastian as well. Beautiful place. Gonna head to the old town to soak up as much as I can in the short time I have. Thankfully, I'm gonna come back through Terceira, so anything I don't see today, I'll see then. And I'm no structural engineer, and feel free if you are one to chime in here, but it looks like this hotel has been anchored into what looks like sandstone, so I don't know what they're thinking, but definitely some structural integrity problems. The cracks in my walls were disconcerting, to say the least. So I read on the internet that this is an incredibly colorful town, and I'm beginning to see that for sure. And beautiful views of the cathedral right ahead of me. A lot of traffic though, unfortunately. First stop is probably going to be the Qeeo Cathedral, the main cathedral here on Angra do Heroismo. You can also see some beautiful views there of the Monte Brazil. And so much faded beauty here. You can see just the crumbling buildings here in the old town. They are decrepit and beautiful at the same time. And this is the Church of Misericordia, right at the entrance to the city, basically. The city gates are right over here, which I'm about to go up. So you can see this is quite a stunning town. Beautiful gates of the city, and if we pan in this direction, you can see beautiful views of the marina and Monte Brazil. So I'm walking up into and through the gates of the city. You can see the beautiful patterned square here. Really beautiful place. And on the left there is a statue of Vasco da Gama, the famous Portuguese explorer. One of the first explorers, actually, during the age of exploration and imperialism. It's a shame I couldn't explore this further yesterday, and I had to spend the day in quarantine, but it is what it is to be able to visit the Azores. Beautiful colors of the town overlooking the marina here. You can see these beautiful murals are everywhere as well here. Some very almost cryptic, dark, edgy, really strange. I'm not even sure what I'm looking at. Very laid back here though. There's almost nobody walking around. It does have a completely small town vibe to it. So this is the view from one of the many miradors or viewpoints here in Angra do Heroismo. Apologies for the wind. Absolutely beautiful vistas of the old town from here. You can see that small island off the coast, right behind the fort, and Monte Brazil here on my right. Absolutely stunning setting, and I cannot believe that I had to spend quarantine literally right on the edge of such beauty. Not complaining, it's just unfortunate. I guess that is complaining. I am so happy that I was able to get out here before my flight and enjoy some of the sights of the city. I mean, my COVID test could have came in at 11 o'clock a.m. today, and I would have saw none of this. So I'm very grateful that I had the chance to at least come out here and take in some of the sights of Angra do Heroismo. So this is the beautiful main street running right in front of the Qeeo Cathedral, which is this beautiful structure right here. Another cream-colored building, this one more of a muted orange. Very similar style though, you can see, with the clock on the steeple. But a lot larger and wider, I would say, than the Church of Misericordia that we saw earlier. But yeah, very similar in terms of design, for sure. So as you can see, another beautiful patterned cobblestone mosaic sidewalk just think more cities around the world should probably use those kind of tactics to beautify their city. I mean, it's so simple, but it adds so much character to a city. This is the Praça Velha, another beautiful patterned square there. And some really unique buildings here with almost, fenced roofs in a sense. It looks like they're setting up the city's massive Christmas tree. So a bit early on November 3rd to be doing that, but it is what it is. So Plaza Velha, the old plaza. Every street is really beautiful here. You can see, looking back down towards the Church of the Misericordia, and so many cream-colored buildings here. And so much of this mosaic cobblestone, pretty much everywhere. It's so beautiful. So this is the historic town hall of Angra de Heroismo. And you can see this crew is really working hard here, which is kind of ruining the ambience, but beautiful old town hall. So many unique details here. Like you can see these rings that basically frame the flower pots here in the center. Really beautiful town. The only unfortunate part of Angra is the absolutely horrific traffic noise, so just bear that in mind. There are some peaceful stretches, but here in the center it's largely annoying. Obnoxious drivers. I'm gonna walk back to the hotel now. Just gotta pass up there by the Church of the Misericordia and then to the left. About a 7-minute walk from here, get my bags, and I'm back to the Plaza Velha to catch the bus to the airport. So really narrow roads here. You can see I'm pretty much walking right next to the cars. The sidewalk is not even really a sidewalk, as you can see. It's probably not even a half-meter wide. Looks like the sidewalk is changing sides here. And again, there's Monte Brazil and the gates of the city where we came from. So I made a big loop basically. And now time to head back up towards the Angra Marina Hotel. So you can probably see why I missed the turn to my hotel. I assumed this was a back alley, but it's actually a major street here in Angra. So you get the idea just how narrow the roads are here. Beautiful, decrepit architecture though. Whew. A lot of uphill climbing here, folks. You got to be in shape too, or somewhat in shape. That's probably a good 45% grade, at least 40%. All right, I managed to make it up the hill overlooking the marina, so I'm not too far from the hotel at this point. Looking back towards the Church of the Misericordia, and you can see the Say Cathedral there in the center. Beautiful town. My hotel is just up here at the very end of the street, so I'm gonna grab those bags and get back down to the Praza Velha, which is right down there. One last look over Angra. Here is the Fort of San Sebastian with the little island off the coast, and the marina itself with Monte Brazil right over here. Saying goodbye to this lovely city. Got to catch the bus here in about 10 minutes back to the airport. And this is the place where I spent my quarantine, the Angra Marina Hotel. So I do recommend it if you are going to stay just as a regular guest. It is pretty well appointed, rooms are great, and the food is excellent here. Thankfully, a local guided me to where the bus stop is, so got about an hour ride on public transit to get to the airport with one change of bus. So I should arrive there about an hour early, so that's pretty good. This is the bull ring here in Angra, and it is actually the home of many bullfights. So really cool. right, I've arrived here at the Terceira airport, which I did not expect to be literally in the center of town. Like, that's crazy. This is the airport terminal, and these are residential streets, restaurants, and everything else. So I've never seen that before in my life, but very cool and very convenient. All right, I'm heading to the boarding gates here to head to Ponta Delgada. Terceira airport is very small, if you haven't already noticed. So super unfortunate, priority pass laws. This lounge is not open. I'm gonna send a little tip to Priority Pass so they can inform other passengers as well. Closed for COVID. You can see just how minuscule this airport is. I'm so disappointed that the lounge is not open. It's really unfortunate. But it is what it is. From Terceira, I would fly 185 kilometers southeast to Ponta Delgada, the capital of the Azores on the island of São Miguel. I just landed here at Ponta Delgada Airport. I'm off to the city center now. So essentially, a taxi from here is one of the biggest rip-offs on earth, actually. It's only about 3 kilometers to the city center, but they charge a full 10 euros, which is unheard of. It's almost triple of the same going rate in Lisbon. But anyway, it's only a 40-minute walk to the center, so I think I'm just gonna walk there today. The 3 kilometers is barely a walk. And yeah, I don't have much luggage, so it should be easy, and I should be able to at least get some good views of Ponta Delgada along the way.